Hey guys, so I saw WebDev Cody do a video about the YouTubers he watches. I just wanted to show you guys and share some light on other people that might not post videos, but they do really good content and more in the written format. And the guy that just keeps me going sometimes in Go is Thorson Ball. He doesn't specifically post stuff about Go or anything. He's just like it's good to keep entertained, and I think that's it's a great thing about his blog called Registersville. Yeah, I would recommend it for you guys. We can go through this one, right, specifically, and see if it's the type of thing you'd like. So this is number 19. He's been doing this for a bit. Right, so let's go through it. Inspirations, a bit of a tricky thing. You walk around with big eyes looking for it and won't find it. You walk around having written it off and suddenly you find it in a small interaction, a single sentence, a song played at the right time in the car, a second giving you weeks of juice. Yeah, okay, a second giving you weeks of juice. This week started with Big Eyes looking and ended with a tune being whistled. And here it is, a bunch of links. Enjoy. Right, so basically the format of this is that he does he does some sort of brief thing about what inspired him about this post and the link to it. So incredibly fascinating and in-depth post about writing down and searching through every UUID from the creator of every UUID. Made me want to build technically hard but useless things. Right. So this is actually quite interesting. There's always that conversation at work where you're thinking about is this version of UUID good? If you're deep enough, you will actually care about this. And if you maybe just want to launch a product and want to take some shortcuts, you will probably just go to for UUID v4, which is probably what you have at your job. Right. So we've been doing a lot of fine tuning the past week, which means we spent a lot of time in notebooks executing Python code and staring at Python code while it's executing this week. I started to wonder, wait, what's that progress bar? Is that built into Google Lab or is it a Python thing or a notebook thing? It turns out it's TQDM, a very popular Python library with progress bars. Now here's the best part. They sell TQDM hats and they do it all with the slogan, progress begins in the mind. How good is that? It's actually a really good slogan. Recently, I want to put you guys on. I've been looking into Python a bit more, not because I don't know, just a lot of people use Python and stuff. But I'm not going to do any Python slander. This channel is not a Python slander channel. And yeah, this great thing called UV, an extremely fast Python package and project manager thing in Rust. I'm gonna give it a star. I saw this actually in the workplace, and it's really cool. Like you can run things like UVX, like sort of like what they would be close to PIFX or NPX, I would say. And also you could do something like UV run. This is like really nice. UV run and then Python without this specific thing, but like you could do like skip this part. You could do like UV run Python and then you run the actual Python script, which would be, I guess this is actually what I'm talking about. You don't need to care about all the environment stuff. I think there's a lot of I'm getting sidetracked. There's a lot of friction to getting started with Python. Once you actually start with it, it's like okay, great. But this team, the team at Astral Labs, Astral maybe not Labs. I might have just added that Astral Ecosystem. They're doing some great work. You guys, if you work with Python, check them out. Um, I'm still yet to go deeper into them, but they've got a great linting stuff. They've got MVS Code as well, if that's where you prefer to code. And UV, it's still on version. I have this doubt, like why is it on version 0.5? There's definitely some things, some stability things that need to be ironed out. But yeah, just like these type of little, not little, but like they're big, but like they seem little. They will allow people to actually start liking Python more. Um, right. So that was Python thing, but this is an example of something that can get you into something curious. And Werner Werner Vogel's Amazon CTO published his tech predictions for 2025 and beyond. And man, I don't know. If you had told me it was published in 2015, I would have believed you. Then again, I'm not good at predicting the future. Ooh. Right, so you can go into a lot of rabbit holes here. I'm just gonna read them like slightly, all of them, and then we'll see if anyone if I can add some ideas or anything to one of these. Anti-Res is back hacking on Reddit. Also, every day I read Hacker News and I see a huge amount of technical people who dislike AI and new developments. I also see a lot of people who don't even care to really try the latest models available in depth. Hint, Claude AI is in its own league and still dismiss them as kind of useless. For me, it's different. Okay. Who is anti-res from where I left? I'm not the kind of person. This is quite long for this video. Um, but yeah, go look at it in Join Curiosity. The link is there. I will link the Join Curiosity blog post. And I'm joining a choir here by saying old maps online is lovely, lovely, lovely. Time to scroll for Europe in the 19th century, then to scroll to Africa in the 20th century, or North America in 1850, and then scroll to Europe. You know, these sort of things, these are pretty cool. Like they're not like they don't have to, not everything you build has to be VC things, you know? It's like you could just you could just be curious for a bit without having any money or intention behind it. That's a really cool thing. This thing here, you exist in the long context, was fascinating. I didn't play the game, I didn't even read every paragraph, but the idea of a bigger context window might be even more than, well, just more of the same, but instead a game changer for LLMs is very interesting. But the analogy breaks down when applied to information stored in the context window. Facts, concepts, narratives, sequences, arguments are all captured much more accurately when they are conveyed to the model via short-term memory instead of long-term training. It's interesting. Okay. Made me play around with Google's Notebook LM and put all of Register Spill into the context and talking to Claude. I asked it to write a post in the style of Thorsten Ball, and the second sentence it generated was, I was having a beer at the bar. Come on, man. Um, I think this is a reference actually to an actual blog post that he did. I could probably find that. It's probably was it the Runk one? Was that one? 16? Years ago, I was sitting in a bar hosted drinking beer. Okay, so yeah, it was number 16. It's some right. So I've read these. Yeah, I'm not putting on an act. I actually read these, and I get what he's going through. My 2 cents on this is that basically, I don't think LLMs right now or in the near future. Okay, so now we're gonna sidetrack to, are they gonna take your jobs? Probably not. I'll let you skip forward if that's all you wanted to hear. I think we talked about this at the workplace once. A very interesting perspective was that like a lot of information is private. If I also recommend watching a large language model explained briefly. If you don't know anything about LLMs, this is a good way to just understand when you're gonna talk about them with the people who do know a bit about them and not be completely lost. It's a lot about probability, it is about that, and it's not completely magic, it's not thinking, it's just probability, right? I don't know if that will classify as thinking. If when I talk, I say I'm probably going to say the next thing, I don't assume so. But I think a lot of information is private, and as that is it, the value it will be able to do is to give. Sorry, an LLM would have probably spoke better than me. Can probably speak better than me. Is limited to the information that is available publicly on the internet. Now we are available to. We have information available to us in our household and stuff that teaches us different things than the LLM, whereas LLM is probably taught on public GitHub repos. A lot of it actually, I think Claude was trained precisely on code. This isn't really relevant to it, but I think the context window will provide obviously more context. Will give you something. I don't think it's a game changer though. I think this is a great example, right? I don't think it's a game changer. I think it's really repetitive in a lot of things. It cannot create. It can only spew out what it already knows and probably what it should go next, right? This is what I think. I think more context window will not give you more things, but I do think, and I think about this sincerely, is that we are still trying to find the product for AI. What that means is, and I've got this abstract idea in my mind, is that AI is more than just a search tool, and it's more than just for coding. It could be what petrol was, right, in the 20th century. And that's another side note. So if you've never seen this, you guys can look at the prize. It's a great book by Daniel Yergin. He talks about the epic quest for oil money. And a very interesting thing about this, I'm not going to tell you guys I read it. I will actually show you what I said, which is a great podcast by Dwarkesh Patel. Sorry again if I butchering any of it, but great podcast, amazing. I love this guy. Subscribed. I think he goes into detail. There are very few people that are not trying to get clicks. He talks about great stuff about the oil industry, and watching this made me think about AI, and if we are at the same point with AI, where we know we've got something on our hands, but we just don't know what yet. And I think that's it. I think we're trying to make it do something, but I think what it can already provide is very valuable. We just don't know the interface for it yet. Let's just talk about Will Wilson on deterministic testing of distributed systems. It's a very good talk, and I think even undersells itself. A lot of described problems are very tricky, a lot trickier than Will makes it sound like. Made me even more curious about antithesis, Wilson's company. Okay, what is this Wilson talking about? Testing a single node, single thread distributed system risk. Oh, wow. This is actually very interesting. This is a very good one. Right, Zed. Okay. Sorry, I didn't give you enough introduction about who Thorsten Bull is and why he's so great. He is an author of a book that people really like. I have not read it, so I can't give my 2 cents on that. But Writing Interpreter in Go and Writing Compiler in Go. Right. He also previously, right, so Sourcegraph, that's it. So before, and right now he works at Z Industries. So if you guys know about Z Industries, it's the IDE, right? But it's fully built on Rust. I have tried it. It's still not for me. I will try it again. I think I'm cursor filled right now, but I will try Z again in some time. I think the times I've tried it, it just doesn't, the extensions and stuff just don't fit well with my current workflow. I think that's just it. And sometimes I just don't want to give too much thought about what I'm coding with. I just want to code, right? So that's why he's going to talk about Zed sometimes here and there. Specifically, Zed's very own Antonio gave a talk last year about something very similar, property testing, async Rust. It's a very good talk, and the code behind it is equally impressive. The whole post is what the whole post link talking about this post is worth a read, but this stuck out. The problem with online advice is that the person writing the blog post is doing so entirely from their own perspective and lifestyle. They have no idea about you and you have no idea about them. When I first came across that idea, I said, hey, maybe advice isn't universally good. I was confused because no, wait, advice is good. What's wrong with advice? Took me a lot of reflection to realize that advice isn't all it's said to be. What's this post about? Digital consumption keeps me from getting better at my job. Okay, I'll read this. I'll probably do another post on this because I actually think this is a very important thing. And this is really a lot of the reason why I think WebDev Cody's video is important, and also this is important. I think taking some step back, like taking a step back from watching videos and actually reading stuff, really good. Read stuff, Don't let your attention span go away. Don't think you can learn from TikTok solely. That doesn't mean you can't. Just know that you can do stuff, fail. Don't expect to know the things. So right now I'm doing a course on Go, CLI things, and I know I'm not going to do it the same as a person with 5 years experience will do it, even though I've stopped. Like a lot of the reason why I don't try to do something new is because I know in TypeScript, I'm mainly TypeScript. I know that in TypeScript I would do it better, and I know that I wouldn't do the same mistakes. And if I see someone else who just has started writing TypeScript, I know where he's doing the mistakes because I've already done them, and I can't skip those steps and go. I have to make the mistakes, but you have to write them. You have to do the work. You have to know what information. You have to be subjective and also exclusive. Is that the right word? Just basically make a good constraint of the information you actually take in, and be very critical about it. Don't just take everything you see on Twitter specifically as truth, as well as YouTube, as well as this video. If you don't like anything you're reading here, and if this hasn't sold you on it, that's okay. He has better content. This is not talking about him. It's mainly talking about my way to sell this and the actual concept of this video. I have to be better at that. I agree. The phone in the background looks very funny, doesn't it? If we look past it, I wonder whether next post, right? The phone in the background looks very funny, doesn't it? If we look past it, I wonder whether that's the future we're seeing. Maximize spend a significant amount of time, my free time, reading books with ChatGPT and Claude as a companion. I feel like I'm getting a PhD for $20 a month. For a primer, here's a video I did using advanced voice mode for reading. Can I react to this? Right. Okay. Your job as an artist is not to sit down in your bedroom like a scientist, devising the formula for the most mind-blowing song that gets the most likes and favorites and retweets. It is not to get your own Wikipedia page or become verified on Twitter. Your art does not have to be deep or complex or show that you're smart or make you understood or give meaning to your existence. The most important thing is to lead with curiosity and chase it until the sun goes down. And I think with that, we finish this video and we finish what this is all about. And I'll just show you a bit more of the articles. 2 types of software engineers, how I use Git, from 1 second to 4 milliseconds. All of the top ones, right? From Vim to Sed, a few words on testing, the basics. Glad I did it in Go. Rust Prism, they all use it, which I think is all about AI. Very interesting one. You probably have coworkers that hate you on AI. It's not bad. It's not great. It's just, you know, it's a very interesting thing, right? I'm just going to leave it at that. Feat of engineering, and so on. I'm not going to talk about all the articles. Thank you so much if you got to this part of the video and you like and subscribe. Please comment down on things you would want me to read about, talk about. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. And this is just Register Spill. I'm going to probably title this something like the blog post I read as a tech full stack engineer. I don't know. Have a good day.